Yo, what's up? It's been a couple weeks, but here we are. I got a new setup. You'll see I'm in a different room. I think maybe the camera is clear, and also I got a little fuzzy thingy for my mic. I was messing with the volume settings a little bit, so I'm hoping the audio is clear for you guys as well. And I'm gonna try not to drown out my voice with background music. I did that in a couple videos, and we're gonna work on all this stuff, and just hopefully the channel gets better over time. So, let's talk about Velious class armor quest. Everybody knows what this is if you're a veteran player. I want to have it all compiled on the one page in the most organized manner possible. There's a lot of like tidbits of different information over on different sites. You got to click on different pages, and it's just kind of a pain to figure out everything that you need on one page. So that's what we did here. This one took a really long time to make. This took me days to make this. I had to put all these hyperlinks in there. And you'll see the hyperlinks that I'm talking about in a minute. But if you're wondering where to find this guide on the website, go here, go down to quest items, go down to Velious quest class armor down here, class armor quest. So there's 4 different places in Velious that you can get do the armor quest. It depends on what faction you are. There's faction Kale armor, there's faction Skyshrine armor, there's Thurgadin, and also there's Plane of Growth / Plane of Hate armor, depending on what class you are. These top 3, you're going to need faction ally. Well, we'll talk about the faction in a minute, but these are all faction based. And the Plane of Growth and Plane of Hate armor are actually just drops off of the mobs in the zones. Either might be off of a boss, might be off of trash, but it'll just straight up drop off the mobs. You don't need any actual faction. Now, what do you need to do a turn in? You need 1 mold, and you need 3 gems for every mold that you turn in. Now, the gems that you turn in are going to vary based on what kind of class you are and what kind of mold you're turning in. And we'll talk about all that in a minute. The most popular zones you're going to find gems in are Siren's Grotto, Velk's Labs, Awakening Lands, and Dragon Necropolis. There are a couple other zones that you drop in too, but these are like the most prolific ones that people are in a lot, so you're going to mostly find them here. And as I said earlier, Plane of Hate, they'll just drop off of the zones based on what class you are. Kale armor, you need ally with Kromzek. And these molds, they drop in the west wing of Temple of Vishen. Skyshrine armor, you need ally faction with Claws of Vishen. And they drop in the east wing of Temple of Vishen. That's like the halls of testing. And for the Thurgadin armor, I have ally, but I think you only need kindly based on what I was reading. And I think I actually did the turn in on my cleric. I was doing the legs. I think I was only kindly on my cleric when I did the current turn in for that too. So for Thurgadin, I think you only need kindly, but I put ally here to cover myself just so, you know, I'm not telling you guys something that's wrong. You turn it in and lose your item. So, and you need that with the Coldane faction, which is basically the dwarves. And another thing too that you're going to want to know about the Skyshrine armor is a lot of people don't know where the room is to turn in the armor. And I think the best way to show this is actually in a video. And luckily for me, I already had a video up on the website on this YouTube channel on how to run to Yellowknack, and it's actually on the way to Yellowknack. So I went to that video, and you're going to see a timestamp at 141 where you can actually find the quest room at. So let's go over there, and I have it open already, but let's start at like 135 or so, and you can just so you can have a better idea of where it's going to be. So what you want to do is you want to go through the maze. And as soon as you're done in the maze, you go up and click this orb. Click that orb, and then we'll pause it right here. This door will lead to the quest room. So that's how you get to the quest room for the turn-ins. And now you're kind of probably wondering, well, what molds do I need? Or what gems do I need? Well, if you're in Kale, you need any of these mold types, and there's a mold type for every visible slot. So just like your standard armor sets. And we're wrists, you can actually have 2 wrists. There's only 7 molds, but you can have 2 wrists, so for a total of 8 molds. And then Skyshrine here, you'll see East Temple of Vishen, and Thurgadin stuff is drops in Kale. Usually it'll drop near the King Tormax area, or it'll drop in the arena. And I think maybe there's like another room that it might drop into, but those are the most 2 heavily farmed. For gems, I was kind of confused when I would be looking at different classes. I'm like, well, what gem do I need for this class and this slot? Well, they actually did kind of, the original devs did kind of have a thought process behind it. It's kind of weird, I guess, but there is a method to the madness. So basically, I'm going to explain it starting at the bottom, and we'll work our way up because it's easier to explain it that way. The priest classes that can heal, cleric, druid, shaman, they all have their own gem types for every slot, and you can see like for wrists you need like 3 crushed opals, for instance. And then the casters, they need their own gems type, and you can find those, you know, right here. And then basically all the other classes in the game, including both Beast Lord and Berserkers when those come out later, those all use the same gem set. So for instance, if you're any of these classes, you need a breastplate, you're going to be competing against a lot of people for like flawless diamonds. So keep that in mind. But that's basically how they broke it up. And moving on, we have the actual quest rewards that you're going to receive. So how do I have this set up in this guide? Well, this is the faction you're going to need. This isn't where you farm. This is where you do the turn-in. So like if you want to do the ally with Kale faction armor quests, these are the rewards you'll get. And same thing here, Sky Shrine, Thurgadin, and Plane of Growth is just a drop. And we have a map here for each faction as well. So if you're a bard and you want to turn in the Kale armor, well, where do you go? Where's the guy at? Well, you go right here. You go to Bligoran Omoradan, and he's down here behind the King Tormak's throne. In his little room there, you see a little red arrow, and that's where you go. And we'll take another look at another one at random. Like if you want to do Cleric Thurgadin, you can go right here, and you can see it's all the way on the west side of Thurgadin near the library, and it's Lore Master, Dorian, whatever. So I have a map for every single one of those, obviously, except for Plane of Growth. And what's really nice about these armor comparisons that are all on the same page here is some of the clickies on some of these have different cast times, and that can actually matter in some scenarios. So let's take a look. I'm familiar with Necro, so we'll kind of let's talk about the Necro one. So you got 4 robes here. All of them will do Conjure Corpse. The one in Kale has a 20-second cast time. Sky Shrine has 18. Thurgadin and Plane of Growth are both 25-second cast times here. So this chart is really nice to compare. You can see which robe you might want to get based on the effects or the stats on the robe. So me personally, I would go for the Sky Shrine robe. It's number 1, I think it looks the coolest. I like the old school graphic on that. And also it has the lowest cast time on Conjure Corpse out of all 4 robes. So if you're just looking for some easy comparisons, this is just an easy way to do it right here. So that's everything. I hope this was helpful. Please make sure to like the video and please subscribe. All right, thanks guys. Bye.